Welcome back to Comic Confidential, the weekly podcast where we bring you the hottest comic book and TV action. I'm your host, Cade, and alongside me, as always, that's Troy Spinner.
That's me.
You see, I kind of tweaked that intro. It's just that little bit easier for me to say.
Yeah, that's cool, man. You do you, girlfriend. You do what you got to do
Thanks,
to get
man.
yourself through it. You know?
Yeah,
It's all about you.
that's right. It should be, man. I've got a real bad headache right now.
Yeah?
Yeah, and I went to go take some Panadol or some Nurofen. I was like, I just went into like our little drawer where we keep that stuff.
Yeah.
And there's dog pills and there's human pills in the same thing. So I hope I took the right one.
What happens if you take the dog pills?
I don't know. We'll find out.
We'll find out.
I'll grow a tail.
Yeah, you're gonna piss on the wall.
No, I'm pretty sure I took the right stuff. Except it was a slow release Panadol because, you know, everyone's just like, yeah, I'd love to have this headache for another fucking hour.
Yeah, it's like just drag it out as long
Yeah.
as you can, Panadol.
Like there's
Jesus.
they have like that Panadol Rapid or Speed or whatever it is. Yeah, it's Speed. Yeah, you take Speed.
Yeah.
And that gets rid of like whatever is like hurting you, causing you illness or pain.
Everything in your life that's hurting you.
Yeah. Why don't they just make all Panadol like quick relief?
Well, look, according to some studies, and I think like a whole like pharmaceutical companies got in trouble for this sort of thing, but none of it makes any difference. I think it was actually Nurofen.
Yeah.
Nurofen had their targeted, you know, joint pain, back pain, period pain, all that sort of stuff, and all of them were basically bullshit.
Well, that I would believe.
So it didn't actually target anything.
But I could
Except
believe
your mind.
Yeah, your mind.
Yeah.
But I could believe like something gets absorbed quicker.
Yeah, that's fair. That makes sense.
But like, why?
And you could also up the dosage of
Yes.
how much, you know, codeine or whatever, depending on what you're taking. But how much is in there? So obviously it's going to work quicker.
Yeah.
Isn't it? I don't know science, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
More is better.
Exactly. Well, look, let's just see how we go, and we'll see how you end up by the end of the show. If you're a mess on the floor, drooling, I will bring it home for us.
Yeah.
And then I'll just go home and leave you there.
Okay, fantastic.
Mate, what an episode. We've got a lot happening this week. We are going to cover off everything happening in TV and movies in the realm of, you know, comic book, pop culture, all that sort of stuff. Not everything.
And you know what? We're going to be the only podcast in the world doing this topic this week.
It's definitely not going to be us and every other podcast ever in the history of podcasts.
I don't think so. I think we've got like a pretty hot topic this week.
Wait, what about Australian podcasts?
Yeah.
What about Australian podcasts with just two dudes?
Yeah. Nah. I think that's the like the rules to make a podcast in Australia. It has to be you and one other guy
Yeah.
talking about like niche things.
Yeah, at least. What about Australian podcasts?
Yes.
With two dudes,
Yes.
both who are somewhat plus size,
Yes.
from Cairns. Got to be us.
I think we've got our target market.
All right, excellent. Yeah, so we're going to cover off everything that's coming up in 2018. Kicking it off with, I don't know, January stuff probably, if there's even any January stuff. We'll get to that later. Also, hey, for all you guys that have been harping on us, kicking us, kind of like, you know, really just like getting into us and saying, God damn it, talk about some goddamn comic books, you sons of bitches.
Oh,
I'm pretty
man.
sure it was
We
some
have
of-
been getting like heaps of grief about that
Yeah.
lately.
Yeah, so bring back Comic of the Week. Well, fucking I did it. It's back this week, and we're going to talk about comics later.
Wow.
So, yeah, take that, world. Comic Confidential, what else are we going to do, right? Talk about comic book movies and TVs.
Maybe we should just change the name from like Comic Confidential to like Pop Culture Weekly.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't mind that.
No, I don't. It's very stale.
No, I don't think it is. I think it's fresh and it's hot, and I think it's sexy.
Pop Culture Weekly.
Yeah.
It sounds like...
I feel like that
It sounds
name-
like a ladies' magazine.
Yeah, that's why it's sexy.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair. Hey, let's get into some news, and we're going to do some news how we did news last week, which is like loose news.
Loose news. Lightning news is dead. Loose news is back.
Loose news is back, and basically that means Cade's got his top story of the week. I've got my top story of the week. I'm sneaking into just you know.
You're sneaking in too. That's what you did last week. Actually, you're
Deal
like,
with it.
You're like, I'm going to talk about Star Wars, and there was like 18 news stories
Yeah, well,
attached to it, and I even tacked one onto it as well.
So don't blame me then. Like, you were there.
You
could have stopped it.
I couldn't.
The power was with you.
I could hit stop
and
on the
you
recorder.
just sat there and let it happen. So how about you kick us off then? What's your news story this week?
Man, my news story this week is huge, and if this isn't the biggest news story of the week, I don't know what will be, Troy. And that's Geoff Johns is no longer in charge of DC movies.
What?
Yeah, apparently Walter Hamada.
He's a Japanese gentleman.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
American-Japanese.
American-Japanese. He's now the new president of production of DC movies, replacing John Berg and Geoff Johns.
Damn.
This is big, man.
This is massive. So why? Why have they done this already? Look, I understand in some sense that they bring in Walter Hamada because he has had a lot of success with with The Conjuring.
Yeah.
There were a couple other movies that were big this year that were horror movies as well that I can't remember off the top of my head. But he was kind of in charge of those, and they had a bumper year with their horror movies.
Well, absolutely. I mean, those are the movies that you never really expect to really kick on or turn into, I guess, bankable franchises.
Yeah.
And hasn't even got its sequel, and it's already going to be probably the most successful R-rated movie of 2019.
Yeah, whenever it comes out. Yeah.
And The Conjuring. I mean, that's a universe in the horror series that is just like continuing to grow, and honestly, it performs every time. I don't think any of the movies attached to The Conjuring have been bad. I've enjoyed every single one.
Yeah, right. I haven't seen any of them, pretty much.
Do yourself a favor and go check them out.
I will. My question would be, though, I mean, why Geoff Johns? I mean, Geoff Johns was 50-50. He had Wonder Woman, right?
Yeah.
That I assume that he was a large part of. Because we know all the bitching and moaning with Batman vs Superman and Suicide Squad and all that sort of stuff. But they got Geoff Johns. Geoff Johns came in, like, obviously there's still been problems, but Wonder Woman was a smash hit. Like, one of the biggest movies of 2017. No one is denying that whatsoever. So that was a smash hit. And yes, we had all these problems with Justice League, and Justice League heavily underperformed and all that sort of stuff. But isn't that Kevin Tsujihara? Isn't that the head of Warner Brothers who, the guy who kind of pushed to make it a 2-hour thing so they could get it to more cinemas and, let's cut this, let's cut that, whatever, just rush it. And you end up with this half-done product. I don't think Geoff Johns is necessarily the person to kick to the curb. And I know, based on your notes that I'm looking at right now, that they're going to keep him on as an advisor, apparently.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes. So, I mean, I guess the real question is, what did they have in mind for Justice League? What were they trying to achieve from this? I mean, they've obviously had a couple of different mindsets in, I guess, the post-production, which has obviously, I guess, altered the outcome of how this movie, I guess, should have performed at the cinemas.
Yeah.
So, they tried to get it down to the 2 hours so they get more showings, just get more people through those cinemas.
Yeah, but, like, that doesn't matter. Like, Star Wars The Last Jedi has already become worldwide, not to talk about... My news isn't about Star Wars, but not to talk about Star Wars again, but it's like, it's in the top 20 highest grossing movies of all time worldwide already.
Yeah.
And that is a nearly 3-hour long movie.
But you also have to remember that Star Wars has got 40 years of, I guess, story behind it, where Justice League's only got,
40 years more.
Yeah,
comic
but not
book fans, et cetera, et cetera.
Comic books are different to what these movies are, and everyone knows that.
This is the first DC team-up movie, my friend.
I know.
In the history of ever.
I know.
They could have made this 3.5 hours long and people would have still lined up to see it.
Absolutely. I am not denying that. But I think this is where Warner Brothers comes in the question of what their targets were. I mean, they've really self-sabotaged what they're trying to do, and it seems like Geoff Johns is the unlucky person in this scenario.
Yeah. Basically, that's kind of my point. It's like, let's look for a scapegoat.
Exactly.
This seems to be Warner Brothers' problem. Warner Brothers' problem isn't that Warner Brothers is the problem. Like, all the executives and everything are there, and they're kind of like going, well, it's definitely not fucking us.
Yeah, we're doing a great job.
We're doing a great job. We're getting these mad bonuses. How can we get these mad bonuses if we're doing a shit job? It's probably Geoff Johns. Fuck that dude off. Bring in Walter Hamada, because we've been killing it with horror movies this year. And that's going to solve all our problems. Well, guess what? It's fucking not.
No, and the thing is, the way... It's percentages, Troy. It's a percentages game. I mean, horror movies are always going to bring in a better percentage than what a action movie is. especially a superhero action movie. The budgets that get attached to, say, the Justice League of what did we say it was
300 million.
300 million.
Yeah.
I mean, you compare that to it that had $50 million, if that.
Yep.
I mean, it brought in over $500 million at the box office, I think.
Easy.
And look at the return on that.
Yeah.
I mean, this is where your percentages
That's at
get
least
screwed.
10 times.
Easy.
I see what you're saying, though. Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't work that way.
No.
Like, I mean, look, these guys are in their positions for a reason. Better men than I'm assuming.
I bet many people would not agree with that statement.
But it's, I don't know. It's kind of like, I don't know. Let's just find someone that we can blame. Let's look to the next best thing that we've got, and let's look to that to fix this rather than looking internally at the shitty things that we're doing, tampering with these movies, getting involved where we shouldn't get involved, and interfering too much and not letting the directors or whoever take control. And I understand there is some talk that they didn't like what Zack Snyder had presented, so they wanted to go back in and get something else out because it didn't fit what they wanted. But who put Zack Snyder in charge in the first place?
Exactly.
So, at some point after Batman vs. Superman, don't you kind of go, all right, maybe then? Maybe it's like, maybe we don't hand the reins to Zack Snyder and I don't know, man. I don't have all the answers, but it just seems Band-Aid solutions, left, right, and center, and it doesn't bode well for the DC universe going forward, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we've got Shazam heading into production soon. We've got Suicide Squad 2, and Aquaman's currently shooting now. So, what's going to make it through?
I don't know.
We'll see. Yeah. I am concerned we might not get anything after Aquaman the way this is going.
Well, who knows, man? Honestly, there's rumors that there's still this is the internet and this is the entertainment industry and all that sort of stuff. There's rumors flying around left, right, and center that things are in crisis or things are going really well, or Ben Affleck's jumping on board to he wants to now create his own Batman movie or something.
I did hear this.
Was it a Batman movie?
No, he was jumping on to be the creative director or something.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, for the DCEU, and it's come on, he ain't doing that. Yeah, and if he is, I'll be very fucking surprised.
Anyway, but we'll always be here to talk about whatever current rumor is fresh. Should we move on?
Yeah, I want to get into your story.
Okay. So my story revolves around a young lady by the name of Jodie Foster. You might know her from such movies as Silence of the Lambs and Elysium and other things. She's been in a few. Contact, she was in that. She has basically gone on the record to say effectively that superhero movies, the superhero genre is destroying cinema.
Yeah, right.
So this is an actual thing, and she's basically come. I'll read some of the quotes that she has said. So she said things like, "Going to the movies has become like a theme park. Studios are making bad content in order to appeal to the masses and shareholders, and it's like fracking in that you get the best return right now, but you're wrecking the earth. It's kind of ruining the viewing habits of the American population, and then ultimately the rest of the world. And she doesn't want to make $200 million movies about superheroes." Now, she does go on to say a few other things and all that sort of stuff. But effectively what she's saying is the blockbuster is killing cinema. And, she's kind of saying that they're taking over Hollywood. And what it's doing is it's killing the creativity because nobody is going to see these. Well, no one's going to see these other movies, and no one is going to fund these smaller kind of movies. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yep.
Go sit in the corner, Jodie Foster.
No one's asking Jodie Foster to make a $200 million superhero movie.
No, the last blockbuster that she was in was Contact, which was, a very divisive movie. You know what? I don't think anyone cares what Jodie Foster has to say. You don't see the comic book movies ruling the awards nights.
Well,
they're a different kettle of fish, Troy.
It is, but it is its own genre, and she's not just talking about superhero films. She's talking about blockbusters as a whole. So these big popcorn action spectacles. I think what she's trying to say effectively is that there are no substance to these movies whatsoever. It's just flash, bang, on a screen. Here it is. Just consume it. And we're going to throw you up another one. And here's another one. And here's another one. And you're going to get 30 in a year. And this is all all the money is going to come from these big superhero movies. And that's all that people are going to want to make because they're the only movies that are making, money and all that sort of stuff. James Gunn has come out and said, in a sense, that he does disagree with what she says because one of the quotes from James Gunn was, for cinema to survive, I believe spectacle films need to have a vision and heart they traditionally haven't. And some of us are doing our best to move in that direction. Creating spectacle films that are innovative, humane, and thoughtful is what excites me about this job. So James Gunn, Guardians of the Galaxy, that had great
so
characterization,
much heart,
a lot of heart, all that sort of stuff. You got Patty Jenkins with Wonder Woman. You got Ryan Coogler with Black Panther coming up. Yeah, I'm assuming. I haven't seen it yet, obviously. But do you know what I mean? So there's a lot more to it than just spectacle. And I think the more that companies kind of let these, and I've said this many times on the show before, but I think the more that the big sort of like Disney, Warner Brothers, whoever it is, the more they step back and let these young directors have creative control, I think they are going to they're going to have this heart, this humanity to them.
Absolutely.
And they're going to have substance. And it's not going to be Transformers 17, fucking the last jockstrap or fucking whatever it is. It's, you're going to actually have some of these superhero movies that mean something to a lot of people. And it's not just about shelling out money because we want to see flash, bang, fucking powers and shit on screen.
Well, I mean, we kind of see this already happening with the, and you just said it, Transformers series. I mean, the most recent movie was the worst performing one out of all of them. And I mean, audiences aren't just, I guess, going to shell out money for shit.
Yeah.
Just because, there's flashy lights and big explosions and loud sounds. She's giving the audience no credit at all. Personally, I just think she hasn't seen a single superhero movie and hasn't invested into, I guess, the genre. Look, to actually see what it is.
Yeah, I would question how many Jodie Foster has actually seen. I get it, but Jodie Foster doesn't make movies.
No, she doesn't.
Well, like I say that, as a director, if you look at what Jodie Foster has done, it's TV. It's a little bit of TV, maybe one or two movies here. She hasn't really done a lot. No one's knocking down the door to say Jodie Foster, do this movie. But I'm not saying she's been in the industry for a long time and she does have a voice and she is an important person and all that sort of stuff. But I think she is. I think it's like a blanket quote, and I think she's not taking into account the audience that's getting smarter. She's not taking into account these young up-and-coming directors that have a voice that is shining through in some of these movies. And yes, occasionally you'll get the odd one that's going to stink, but mate, for the most part, I mean, I've been absolutely loving the story behind what is coming out lately.
Well, the thing is, Jodie Foster is also taking a shit on every great movie that came out this year.
Most of them.
Yes.
Are you telling me Logan didn't have heart, didn't have compelling characters, didn't have an interesting story, didn't have, an interesting story to tell? You telling me that James Mangold just threw together a big piece of fucking noise and lights and fucking, action and claws and shit? No. That movie was fucking brilliant. Wonder Woman had one of the most emotionally what's the word I'm looking for? Emotions and stuff.
It had the most emotion. It brought the most out of you in a movie.
Emotionally, yeah. I mean, with the No Man's Land scene, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You can keep going. You're exactly right. So, unfortunately, Jodie Foster, us here at Comic Confidential, think you're a little bit full of shit. So take that for what you will. Now, just before you go, I know you're trying to push that button, but I did just really quickly want to talk about this because in the Thanos comics, they have actually revealed Thanos' birth name.
Oh, yes, I did hear about this.
Did you see this? Yeah. And his name.
I heard it's very unimpressive. Wait. Let me prepare myself.
Okay. Are you prepared?
I'm ready.
All right. Now, I don't know if I'm getting the pronunciation right. All right. But it's Dion.
Oh.
It's not. It's like Dione or Dione. It's
Wow.
like Dione. But I'd like to think that it's Dion.
I think it's Dion.
That Thanos' mum like looked at that big purple head when he was born and like, you know what? That's a fucking Dion.
That's a Dion.
That's a Dion. He's gonna grow up.
No wonder he changed his name. Oh, what is it, like Dion the Mad Titan?
Yeah, imagine that. Dion, Destroyer of Worlds. Like it doesn't have.
It sounds like a deli meat.
It's like I don't know.
I apologize to anyone out there listening if your name's Dion.
Don't get me wrong. This is not about you.
This is about
your
Thanos.
name. This is about a guy like Thanos having a name like Dion, which sounds like he's trying to sell you like his mixtape out the back of his car or something. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, what does a Dion do? Celine Dion.
Yeah,
there you
go.
That's a Celine Dion. I don't know if somebody out there knows the actual pronunciation, because as far as I'm aware, this is the first time it's been revealed. And so it's been revealed in a comic, so you kind of got to take it for what it is. Like the creator knows how, like, you know, what he had in mind.
The good thing is, with comics, you can kind of make it up whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, which is Dion.
It's Dion.
There was no inflection over the E, so, you know, it's like not Dione or like, I don't know, Dione. Could be.
Dion?
No, it's no.
Yeah, can't work that. No.
But I really wanted to get into that because I am only ever when I watch Infinity War this year, I'm going to be a dead set. That's Dion.
You know what I feel like now? I'm going to feel like the Avengers Infinity War. Dion was out at his like job. He's like mid-30s. No, I reckon 40s. 40s.
Yeah, okay.
He's going through this midlife crisis.
Yeah.
He's there typing away. I'm imagining he works in like insurance.
Okay, yeah.
Or accounting.
Yeah.
Something where he's just like, you know, in a little cubicle and doesn't like have anything going for him. And, you know, he has these deadlines. They're impossible to meet. His boss is always like ragging on him.
Dion,
where's that report?
Where's
I
that
asked for?
420? Well, I don't know what reports are.
Yeah, but anyway, he's there and he's just like typing away on his computer. It's like, you know, it'll be a massive keyboard because, you know, he's a big dude.
He's huge, yeah.
Yeah. So they have to like get that custom shipped in, and his boss is already like a little bit angry at him about it.
Yeah.
So he's like typing away, and his boss is just like, oh my fucking God. And then Dion's just like, you know what? I'm done with this. Smacks the computer off the desk, walks out.
Knocks his coffee cup onto the ground and it smashes, and it, like it was, you know, number one Mad Titan.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah. I mean, I see this.
And then
he
goes past his office, and there's his like the helmet. He goes, "This is mine now, bitch."
Oh,
yeah, and then walks off.
Dion's got attitude.
Yeah.
And then goes on and basically conquers the world.
Yeah, but you see, after he leaves the office, he goes down to like Mad Titan Industries and gets himself a convertible.
Oh, midlife crisis.
Yeah, but convertibles are different where Dion is from.
Right.
It's that chair that you always see him floating around in.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, and he leaves his wife.
Yeah, leaves
and
his
he starts
wife.
chasing this hot death lady.
That's
That's
it.
you know, she's like 22.
Yeah.
He's like 40. Yeah, I get it. Dion's going through a midlife crisis. That's all. Like, if the Avengers can figure out how to just get Dion to accept how Dion got his groove back. If they
That's the working title.
That's the working title for Avengers 4. If they can figure that out, they'll be fine. And that is going to take us to our main segment this week, which
Lion fighting.
Whoa. We're lion fighting.
Yes, we are.
Okay, excellent. But instead of that, well, until the lions get here at least, we are going to preview, I should say, the year that is to be, which is currently now, but also for a lot more time. 2018, I'm trying to talk about. So we're...
You make that so difficult.
That's going to be my number one intro ever. So we're going to do all the movies and TVs that relate to us and you guys, the comic book, movie, TV, pop culture stuff. We're going to go through month by month. We're going to talk about all the stuff that's coming out. We're going to pick some of our favorites. We're going to pick some things that we think might not actually make it out of 2018. And we're also going to, I don't know, like figure some other shit out.
Okay.
At some point.
We'll throw something else in there.
Yeah. So let's kick it off. We've got January. Now, January brings us the season 11 premiere of the X-Files. You must be pretty excited.
Oh my God, I am so excited for this. I mean, I jumped on the interwebs earlier today, and I was going to try Magic it, but I could not find it anywhere, Troy.
Now, I noticed you said Magic. Is there no way that you can legally, unmagically get this show?
You know what? I haven't looked. Why look when I can just get a wand and do some magic?
Well, because it's called doing the right thing, I guess.
Well, you know what,
you know,
Troy? Sometimes I like to be a rebel. Sometimes I'm just a cool magic dude.
All right, that's cool.
You know, I'm a magician, man. Look, I'm so excited for the X-Files this season. I heard the first episode of this hasn't really pleased hardcore fans.
Oh, that's a shock.
Yeah. Wow. Fucking fool me once, X-Files. Straight into season 11.
I just meant trying to please hardcore fans. Like that seems to be impossible.
It's impossible, mate. It's. I'm going to call that the Star Wars effect from now on.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. So look, I'm pretty excited. There's always going to be haters. You know, it could be the greatest episode ever, but you know what the internet is like, Troy.
I do.
It's a vile place. But you know what? So keen for it. Biggest X-Files fan in the world right here. I'm going to watch it after you leave.
Oh, cool. Maybe I'll go now. You seem pretty keen.
Yeah. Can we do this a bit later?
I'm out. I'm done. Look, the only other thing in January that premieres is season 1 of Black Lightning.
Yeah.
Now, that is just around the corner, I believe. By the time this goes to air, it's about a week away. And it is looking pretty good so far.
It's not looking bad. I mean, it's different from everything else. And I'm going to give it a shot. I mean, it is a CW show.
Yep.
If it doesn't fit into this CW verse, it'd probably be the best thing for it.
Well, I think I really think it shouldn't.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think the Arrowverse is struggling. And I don't think that bringing this into it is going to, A, help the Arrowverse, or B, help Black Lightning as a show. I think, excuse me, I think they need to stay away from it as much as possible.
Yeah, I think so,
Let
too.
it be its own thing. Like, yes, it can be on the CW, and we know that it's going to have that CW effect, but I am pretty impressed with what I've seen so far from the trailers that we've seen. Cress Williams looks great. The suit looks good. So we'll see. It's
Did you see Thunder's outfit got revealed
yeah,
online?
I did. That looks pretty dope as well.
Looks awesome.
Now I just looked it up. It's the 16th of January, so it is. Yeah, it's not going to be the week this episode goes out. It's the week after. Get it, India. Black Lightning. That's coming. Now that's going to take us to February, and February, as they like to spell it, February. Gives us Black Panther.
Yes, it does.
The first kind of the first big comic book movie of the year, and potentially one of the biggest.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this movie is really going to change comic book cinema for the future.
Okay, how so, though?
I think we're going to see stuff in this movie that we've never seen before, and that's going to be, hidden storylines, agendas in the movie, and just straight up badass action.
Well, I did read one thing about Michael B. Jordan really tapped into him tapping into the character of Killmonger. Yeah, it kind of really took him to some really deeply personal places, stuff that he doesn't even really want to talk about because he wants it to be his. So he doesn't want to just let the world have it. Like that's how much it kind of meant to him.
That's awesome, and see that's the type of thing that we're not going to get in any other type of movie.
Yeah. I'm very, very keen for this. I have incredibly high hopes. It was also just revealed that Kendrick Lamar will be the producing the album with Top Dog Entertainment. They've also released a single today, which is pretty good.
Oh, I haven't heard it yet.
Oh, it's out there somewhere. I can't remember what it's called. All the Stars or something like that. But it is pretty good. I am very, very much a fan of Ryan Coogler, and pretty much from Fruitvale Station to Creed, everything that he's touched so far has been great. He seems to do really well with Michael B. Jordan as well. Obviously, Chadwick Boseman, we've only really seen him kind of, once before, but I'm very, very keen to see him again.
Look, the only thing that kind of raises a red flag for me for Black Panther is I kind of feel this might be an Iron Man story retelling.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I have a feeling we're going to get that like super common Marvel villain curse where it's the bad guy is just an alternative version of the good guy.
Maybe.
I think 100%.
Look, I hope not, because like I think these young actors are really sort of invested in these parts. It's got an absolutely amazing sort of overall cast.
Absolutely.
And again, Ryan Coogler has a distinct voice, and that voice is going to be different to everything that we've seen in the Marvel Universe so far. This is like the 18th film to be released.
Crazy.
Which is crazy, and I think it's going to be one of the most original, even though you could probably give that to Thor Ragnarok at the moment. But yeah, very, very keen. Another thing I know a lot of people will be keen for, I don't know if you're really sort of into this show in particular, but Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 3 kicks off in Feb.
That's very exciting. Not for me, because I haven't watched any of the TV series. I mean, I have watched the movies many, many years ago.
Yeah.
But apparently this show kicks a lot of ass.
Yeah, look, it's now I do have to admit, and there's going to be some people out there that are going to be very upset, and I'm sorry already. I have not really gotten past the first 4 episodes of season 2. I haven't finished it off. It's not because I'm not enjoying it. It's just because I haven't had the time to get into it.
You went on that Doctor Who binge.
I went on that Doctor Who binge. It is available on Stan, I believe. Stan
Yes.
has it, so it is there. You don't have to magic it. You have to pay money, but you don't have to magic it. So it is there. Bruce Campbell is amazing. Bruce Campbell has been amazing for the longest time. This show pushes. God damn, this show pushes the boundaries of what you can show on TV.
Does it really?
Oh man, there is some genuinely sick shit that you kind of have a question at some point.
Is it a Showtime show?
It is not. It is Stars, I believe.
How's it do it?
Stars, man. Stars don't give a shit.
There you go.
They were literally like, I can't. The people who have seen this know what I'm talking about. Like, I don't really want to get into any descriptive kind of things, but there's some shit. There's like it involves a dead body,
Yeah.
a cavity,
Wow.
and Ash's head going through said cavity and wearing dead body.
Amazing.
There's some problems with that.
That's insane.
So anyway, that's a thing that happens. But Ash vs. Evil Dead is pretty damn sweet.
Well, Troy, that's going to take us to March, and that's going to take Tomb Raider to that top spot there.
Yes, the Tomb Raider reboot.
The movie nobody has asked for.
But we're getting, and I am still interested.
Are you?
It's going to be, well, the reason I'm interested, it's based off the new game, the newer game, the 2013-ish reboot of the game. And it's a younger Lara Croft as she first starts to get into these adventures. We saw a lot of falling into water.
Yeah, we saw that. A lot of jumping.
All that sort of. There's a lot of jumping. I love Walton Goggins, who's also in this movie. I do like that dude. And I have really been impressed with Alicia Vikander, or as I like to call her, Mrs. Fassbender. Mrs. Fass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
This is going to be one of those ones, though, man. Like, this is like...
It's either going to be really, really good or really, really shit.
So this is obviously based on a game, and we know that gaming movies aren't necessarily good. Very good reports about Jumanji, which is technically not based on a game, but it kinda.
Yeah, from what I've heard,
video game. You know what I mean?
It gets video games right.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. I think the problem with video games is like you go through the game and you experience all the adventure yourself.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like, oh, I've died here. That's really hard. And none of that really happens in a video game movie.
Yep.
So, anyway, a movie that I am super excited for this year, Troy, and that's Pacific Rim Uprising.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like this
that's a genuine...
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I feel like this might be the dark horse of the year.
Doubt it.
No, I really do. I mean, the idea of Pacific Rim is really, really cool.
Yes. It's got kaiju in it.
It's got kaiju, man.
Anything with kaiju in it is pretty much already cool, but I don't know.
You don't know?
Convince me.
Convince you?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can convince you. I just like it because it's cool. I can't say like I like it because, you know, there's this robot, there's that robot.
There's a compelling story and, you know...
because
really...
it's not going to be that. It's just going to be like big robots that like, here's a
punch
plot.
on with kaiju.
Yeah, here's. I'm going to tell you the story. All the robots are going to get like destroyed by the kaiju. then that massive one that we see in the trailer is going to come, and we're going to lose like 90% of everyone. But one robot will save the day.
John Boyega's robot.
Yeah, of course it will be.
Yeah. John Boyega plays the son of Idris Elba's character, for whatever that's worth.
Yep.
So that'll be interesting. I do like John Boyega. Look, it's not like I'm not going to watch this movie, but
do you think they've got him just because he was in Star Wars and he's kind of like a hot thing right now?
Well, he is a hot thing. That's the thing. Like
Yeah.
he's a hot property. And the kid can act. He's definitely got acting chops. We will see. I really wasn't that impressed with what I had seen in the trailer.
Yeah.
Didn't look.
And you know what? It's your first trailer, so maybe
That's
wait till
fair.
you see it, mate.
We'll see. We'll see something else. So also in March is Ready Player One. Now, we spoke about this briefly, I believe, last week. It might have been the week before that, something like that. So this is obviously based off the book.
You're very excited for this. I am. It's kind of in that middle ground. I have no expectations for it. Yours are set to maximum.
Well, see, here's the thing. Like, they're not necessarily set to maximum.
They're set to 20 out of 10.
I will say one thing about this. The book is good,
Okay.
right? But it's not amazing.
Yes.
It like I love the 80s nostalgia. I love everything they do, the world they create. That's all great, but it just the book is frustratingly cliched at times, right? And I don't know, like I hope that doesn't translate onto the screen as well, because if they go down the route that the book went, it's going to be very, very like almost like vomit-inducingly cliched. At
wow,
times.
that bad?
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad at points. Now, you've got Steven Spielberg, so it should be in good hands. You've got a whole bunch of 80s shit. This whole incredible world that has been created, this virtual world, the Oasis.
Unlimited licensing by the looks of it.
Yeah, pretty much, basically. And that's what I'm really interested to see is how they get all this stuff together.
Yeah.
And how they, how they manage to bring all these things that are notoriously so hard to get the rights for and show us. But we will see. I know they're obviously going to take a lot of creative license with this as well. And some of the things that you see in the book, you might not necessarily... read in the book. You don't see things in books.
Unless
you see
it's a
words.
picture book,
This
mate.
is a picture book.
Yeah.
Like a comic book or
Yeah.
something. Yeah. But if, I guarantee some of the characters are going to change and all that sort of stuff. So,
Yeah, for sure.
Expectations set to a solid 7 out of 10.
Okay, so that's above average.
It's above average.
Okay, I'll give you that. Jessica Jones, season 2 also drops in March.
Keen.
Yeah. Yep. You know what? I haven't got any expectations for this season.
Really?
Yeah, the teaser trailer that we got earlier this year didn't really hook me. Maybe I should go back and watch that to see if I kind of missed anything that maybe I was just kind of a little bit distracted or something. But
I just want to see her fly. Just make it happen.
That's all I want from season 2. Make her fly. Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Make her fly. Yeah. What can you say?
Yeah, there's not much really you can.
Season 1 was fantastic.
Yep.
I still rate it very, very highly. Season 2, super keen. David Tennant's back. What are you going to say?
Yeah,
I love that
bring it
guy.
on. Now, something that I don't think anyone is keen for, and that is Krypton, season 1.
Here's legitimately the Superman prequel that nobody asked for, because this is about Krypton, and it's about Superman's grandfather.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, all right, cool. So none of us have powers.
Yeah.
Because we're on Krypton. So we're not going to see any Superman stuff.
Maybe they
because they don't have a yellow sun. So I'm sure there's other stuff that's going to happen, but it's kind of like...
feel like we're going to get lots of politics, lots of robe wearing, lots of bingo if it's his granddad.
Yeah, so... well, it's a kid.
Nah, man.
Yeah. It's not literally, we're not following like a 70-year-old man.
I think we will.
In this
because
show.
this show is going to be nothing but flashbacks, I feel.
Well, it's not going to be flashbacks. It's going to be set in the past. We're never going to see Superman in this show.
I know.
It's going to be a whole bunch of frustrating...
Troy, I guarantee you in the very first episode, we see little Kal-El get shot off. You may know this. You know
No.
Superman's story, but you don't know Krypton's.
No. Oh, maybe. I'll give you that.
That's how it'll start.
Okay, you might see that, and it's just like it's just a baby with a little curl in his hair. This is making me angry already. This is legitimately. I have very very little hopes for Krypton, and I guess the other big thing about it is that it's on the Sci-Fi Channel, and they are notoriously what's the word I'm looking for?
Low budget.
Shit.
Very low budget.
So, we'll see. Look, I mean, I don't like to be negative. I am the guy that likes everything. But, what am I going to do?
Troy, let's move into April, and that gives us the New Mutants.
Yes.
This is something I'm very excited for.
Tell me about it.
Mate, I just want to see a scary comic book movie.
Yeah, same.
Like, this is something that we've never, ever seen before. I'm a big fan of comic book movies. I'm a big fan of horror movies. You put these two together, and that's winner, chicken dinner, mate.
The only thing that I'm like a little bit skeptical of is I hate when shows drag out the actual use of powers.
Yeah.
So and shows are getting better and better and better at it. Where it's kind of like The Flash. It's like episode 1, there's your suit, and he's already doing shit, and that's great. I don't necessarily need that so much in this, but I don't want it to be like, it's like all horror, and then, there's like a frustrating little tease of someone having some power, and then it's still an X-Men movie. So I still want to see mutants using their powers for good or evil. I don't really care either way. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Does that make sense?
And have you been watching The Gifted?
Yes.
Now, that shows a kind of alternative view of how the mutants work in this X-Men universe.
Yeah.
Because it's obviously apparent that the X-Men are all Omega level.
Yeah.
Whereas you get shows like The Gifted, and there's like people who can kind of like move things slightly.
Yeah. But not every mutant is an Omega level mutant.
Absolutely.
So you are going to get some guy whose ability is to warp. You can make it look like you're in fucking Rome or something.
Yeah. Wow. Cool power, man.
That's cool. We're not actually there, dude. I know it's fake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You basically just turned on a TV. That's all that is. I get it.
That would be like a pretty crappy power, wouldn't it?
What are you going to do with it?
Yeah, it's like you have one use and you may come in handy one time.
I get it in the sense of it's like, how we did with the truck.
Yeah.
You can make the truck look like it's gone. And there are things that you could make this. There's a bottle of Powerade. I was trying to think of what it was called. It's right in front of me. There's a bottle of Powerade, and you can make it look like it's an atomic bomb.
Whoa.
And people freak out and they'll run away.
That's so spooky.
But it's not going to blow up, is
Yeah.
it? Nothing's going to happen. It's just a bottle of Powerade. So
great power, mate.
anyway, sorry that kid, but your power is shit, dude.
So effectively, what I'm saying
what are we
is,
talking
in a
about?
roundabout way, is I don't want them to be like little girl powers. I want some half decent powers going on in this movie.
Yeah. Well, I think there are some the characters that they have, like Cannonball as an example, has some really cool power. I don't know if we're going to see it.
Yeah.
But I'd be interested to see what they show, but I don't want some sort of stupid little tease, and that's all we get. I want some goddamn spectacle. Jodie Foster, I want my spectacle. That is going to take us to the last big movie. I want to say big because that's a pun, in a sense.
Are you monkeying around?
Hey. Let me rock your world for a second. Rampage.
Wow.
Yeah, it took me a while to get there. But we got Rampage, which is based on the 1980s-ish video game, which basically features giant monkeys and other types of monsters. Like you see a wolf, I think, in this trailer, destroying cities.
Yeah.
And that's kind of all it's about. And The Rock is friends with this monkey.
Of course he is.
Yeah, and I don't know what else happens. Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
I bet you he steals a helicopter in this movie. He does. That's it's a Rock trait.
That's a Rock move.
Yeah, it's a Rock move.
Yeah.
I have no expectations for this movie. I feel like it's already losing money at the box office.
I really want to see. Well, this is a video game movie.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. This is actually technically a video game movie. The Rock wears the same shirt in every goddamn movie he's ever in.
The white one with like a little tear at the top?
Yeah. Either that one or the one that looks like he's on safari.
Yeah.
There's a couple of shirts that The Rock has. He has one wardrobe.
Or a suit.
This is the Rock universe. He plays the same character. He just
of
changes
course.
his name because he's like in trouble with the government. I don't know why people do that, but this I do want to see Jumanji because like I've been pretty harsh on The Rock and his abilities to like actually make a good movie. But yeah, and apparently Jumanji's good. I don't know. So Rampage, very, very low expectations. Although who doesn't want to see giant monkeys destroying buildings?
That's right. Troy, let's move into May, and this is going to be called May, the biggest
Madness.
May Madness blockbuster season.
This is the month to end all months.
Absolutely. No one else should ever release a movie in this month.
No. Solo, a Star Wars story. What are you doing? Trying to go up against Avengers Infinity War.
Well, you know what? It's May. I guess it's now called Dismay. Instead of Disney, it's Dismay.
Dismay?
This is May.
No, I get what you're saying.
Are you sure? Because I feel like you're not feeling
No. But mine's like dismay because they're going to be very dismayed because they brought this movie out.
Doesn't matter. They're both Disney movies. So we've got Avengers Infinity War and Solo, a Star Wars story.
Yep.
I'm so surprised that Solo, a Star Wars story is going to be released on this date. I feel like it's so close.
Well, it's not. Yeah, it's not the exact date, obviously. I think Avengers comes out very, very early May. We might even get it late April. So I think we're actually getting it. I think we get it around the 25th, whereas it drops like the 3rd of May in the States. So we actually get it a week before the States gets it. Sorry, guys. And Solo is later in May, so it's got a couple of weeks. But if you don't believe that Avengers Infinity War is going to rule the box office for a couple or a few
6
consecutive weeks, you are crazy, Jesus.
Yeah,
You're crazy.
absolutely. I guess there's not much more we can really say about that. I mean, we spoke about Avengers Infinity War a little bit earlier in the episode.
Yeah, we talk about that movie a lot. We talk about a lot of Avengers, that sort of MCU stuff. So good on it. Good on you. Wow.
And we covered Solo pretty much all last week.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm still excited for that movie, so I don't really care.
You know what? That's one of the movies I have no expectations for. So if it's good, it's great.
Yeah.
If it's shit, I'm not surprised.
That's going to take us to June. And the first one would be the Untitled Deadpool sequel.
Yes.
Still untitled for some reason,
It's
even though
probably
we're
just going to
only
be Deadpool 2.
less than 6 months away. I don't think they'll do Deadpool 2. I think they'll come up with something like really clever. You know how people like throwing out like Deadpool Second Coming and stuff like that?
Oh, I would hope not.
No, well, that was a thing that people were like, like playing around with. That's not necessarily true. Whatever, man. Anyway, the fact is, this movie, it's either going to be really, really good, or it's going to suffer the sequel curse that a lot of sequels do. And what they try to do is they ramp up what made the first one so successful, and in doing so, take away what made the first one so successful.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if the stakes aren't higher in a sequel, you're just kind of rehashing the first one.
Yeah.
So this is a big month for sequels, actually. This is only sequels getting released in this month, now that I look at it, because we also get The Incredibles 2, which is about, 15 years later? 100,000 years later.
100,000 years after the first one was made, we get the sequel. And it's set fucking directly after the events of the first one. So I don't know whose idea that was, but fucking you're toying with us. You're toying with my emotions.
Yeah.
Very, very keen to see The Incredibles 2.
I think The Incredibles 2 is going to win nearly the year.
Maybe.
The thing is, it's got the biggest audience.
Yeah.
And that's what it's got going for it.
The only thing that it has going against it is the fact that it's waited so goddamn long. We saw that with now... Finding Dory was not a good movie, but like Finding Nemo and then bringing the sequel out like 10 years later with Finding Dory, it just didn't work and it didn't have the same effect. People weren't clamoring for it. The Incredibles 2 has more of a buzz around it than Finding Dory, obviously.
Yep.
But like for me especially, I want to see this movie, but has it waited too long? That's my only question, but we'll see.
We'll find out. The last sequel getting released for this month in June is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, Jurassic Park's going to make all the money in the world.
Look, this movie...
It's got Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt's in it. Jeff Goldblum's back.
He's back, baby.
He's got a sexy beard. Bryce Dallas Howard.
Looking amazing, as always.
Looks amazing. And, you know, some other people. Who cares about them? That doesn't matter. They're the main ones. They're the main ones that are in this movie. This is the kind of movie that I'm like the least excited for, but I know it's still going to make a ridiculous amount of money.
Absolutely. What I'm excited about this movie is that they're using more animatronics again.
Yeah. We did speak about this when the trailer dropped. They have gone back to a lot more animatronics, puppets, practical effects, that sort of thing, which I do like, and I do really want to see.
And look. There's rumors on the internet that Sam Neill is making a cameo in this.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Australia's sweetheart, Sam Neill.
Isn't he a Kiwi?
I don't know.
I'm sure he is.
Even if he was,
he's ours.
We've claimed him. Actually, I think you're right. I think he's from New Zealand.
Yeah.
But fuck you, Sam Neill. All right, so July, we've got Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yep.
Are you not excited?
I know, man. This Ant-Man was it was a fun movie.
Yep.
But I mean, what's the risk with Ant-Man? Gonna go into the microverse and get your mum out of there?
I don't know, man. I am very excited.
The stakes have never been smaller, Troy.
It's terrible. But I loved Ant-Man.
Ant-Man was great. It was a lot of fun.
And I love Paul Rudd. And if you don't love Paul Rudd, you probably also hate Joy.
Yeah, I think
and
so.
Jesus and bread.
Are you saying Paul Rudd is Jesus and bread?
Paul Rudd is like a
Jesus sandwich.
Jesus sandwich. He's the bread.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Jesus is the meat in a Paul Rudd sandwich. That's what I'm saying.
I want to buy it.
Anyway, Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'm keen. Look, I mean, I really, really, really enjoyed what they did with Ant-Man, and I am excited to see a sequel. I am a little bit less excited about the fact that they're billing it as like the MCU's first romantic comedy.
Oh no!
Not
Are they really?
Yeah, not necessarily as keen for that. But
Paul Rudd's a sucker for that type of stuff, though.
Yeah,
that's probably how they roped him in. He's like, yeah, I'll do the first one as long as the second one is a romantic comedy.
Yeah, because that's what I do best.
Yeah,
look at this hair.
Like I'm gonna start off as like the nice guy, but then something's gonna happen in the middle, and I'm gonna be a little bit of a scumbag, and we're gonna avoid each other. But I'm gonna think about you while I'm doing everyday things.
Yeah,
and then I'm gonna win you back at the end.
You know what would be really good if they did it like a really cliched romantic comedy where like they meet at the airport, but as bugs.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like it's like he's as Ant-Man, she's as the Wasp, and for whatever reason they're at the airport. And he's like running in there after her, and she like stops, and he's like yelling out. She turns around just before she boards, like not a plane.
Yeah.
Like whatever. She's got wings anyway. It doesn't matter. I don't know how this is going to work. But just have the final scene in an airport.
I like that.
And then at some point it has to rain, and they have to have a deep, passionate kiss in the rain.
I like that.
Make that happen.
But then they have to separate for a couple of years after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, to make that love grow fonder.
Yeah, that's what happens. So you deep, passionate kiss. Something goes bad.
I predict she's going to France.
Yeah, Paris.
Yeah,
to find herself.
Yes.
This is good. I like where this is going.
I am so keen for Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, let's move on because we still have a lot to get through before we're done.
We're at the halfway point.
We're at the halfway point. We've got Teen Titans Go to the movies. Now, this is an actual... So this is a feature length, so don't get it twisted. This is not this shitty little Teen Titans Go TV show. This has actors like Kristen Bell, Will Arnett, Tara Strong's in it. It's got King Ezekiel playing Cyborg.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So there are some good actors. I don't really know what to expect. I don't watch a lot of Teen Titans Go.
I don't think anyone over the age of 8 does.
But it's also it is from the creators of the Lego Movie and the Lego Batman movie. So
count me interested.
Color me curious. And Mission Impossible 642,000 is coming in July as well.
This better be the most mustached movie I've ever seen in my fucking life.
If Henry Cavill doesn't have the fucking greatest mustache since Tom Selleck's Magnum PI mustache,
yes.
Then fucking what?
Oh my god, Troy. Imagine if they went in there, trolled Warner Brothers, and shaved his mustache off.
Oh, could you imagine? Like the entire movie, he doesn't even have a mustache at all.
I would love that.
Wow.
Oh,
look, I'm looking at some set photos. Just bear with me.
Okay.
Bear with me. I thought I saw one of Henry Cavill. I just wanted to see if he had a mustache. It's all fucking Tom Cruise. I can't do this anymore.
that's probably in Tom Cruise's like contract that only pictures of me must go on the internet.
When you get to IMDb or anything, you want to go to anything, search Google image, whatever, it's only going to be... There you go. I found one. That's not a great mustache.
I was going to say, I feel like he's more handsome with that mustache.
Well, he is. It's not like he's like not handsome anyway, but it's kind of like that's the mustache that effectively, made Justice League fucked.
I wouldn't say that.
I liked it, but
Yeah.
that was like one of the biggest problems.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I haven't even seen like the last 3 Mission Impossible
Are you
movies.
serious?
Yeah.
I fucking love these movies still, man. Tom Cruise could never make another movie, but as long as he keeps making Mission Impossible movies, I will fucking get into it.
How many do you think he'll do? 10.
I reckon they'll try to go to 10. MI-10, and then they'll be done.
It'll be MIX.
MIX.
Yeah.
I like that. I could do that. So anyway, that's coming.
Nice.
That's a thing. August, The Predator.
It's a lonely month. A soul predator, some would say. And that's movie Predator. Troy, how excited are you for this movie?
It is a good 97 out of 100.
Wow, that
basically.
excited.
Yeah, I mean, like, we've got Shane Black. Shane Black is making this goddamn movie. It was written by Shane Black. Shane Black doesn't write bad movies, except for Iron Man 3, which I really need to go back and double check because I could be wrong. I've said that before.
I'm sure that's still the
But
worst
this is-
Iron Man. That's the worst Marvel movie ever made. I'm sure of it.
But check this out. Thor: The Dark World would probably battle you for that.
I don't know.
Look, it's set in suburbia. How are they going to make that happen? It's set in suburbia.
The Predator's gonna be in your treehouse, Troy.
It's got the Punisher. Thomas Jane is in this goddamn movie. I don't know what sort of real sort of part he has, but Thomas Jane's in it. It's got a really good cast, man. Olivia Munn's in there. They've got some other people, Boyd Holbrook. So it's like, you've got some comic book movie people. You got
good.
Psylocke. You've got whatever Boyd Holbrook's character was from Logan. Can't remember.
Blanking.
Old mate. And
Robot Hand.
A Robot Hand.
Yeah.
Robo Hand. And you got Thomas Jane the Punisher. So get into that. Keegan-Michael Key's in this from Key and Peele.
You reckon he's a comedy relief?
I would say that highly likely, but he's actually a really good actor.
Yeah, he is.
I am very, very excited. Expectation is dialed up to maximum. That's going to take us to September, which has fuck all.
I'm surprised there's nothing in this month.
Where, yeah, you get to this middle part of the year where they don't really sort of drop too much.
This is a kids' movie kind of spot because it matches up Australian school holidays, US school holidays. What are you going to do?
The perfect storm.
The perfect storm, mate.
Speaking of perfect storms, October, Venom. Who knows what to expect? We're getting into the later part of 2018, so it's going to be harder and harder to kind of, because we haven't had a lot sort of come out so far that we've seen from this. So, we're kind of getting a little bit of set photos here, a little bit of, is this Tom Hardy in some sort of Venom suit? No.
I'm so surprised this is coming out this year. Like, this feels like it's so rushed. I feel like he got casted last week.
They are pumping this along, but listen to this cast. Tom Hardy, Michelle Williams, Woody Harrelson's in this now.
Oh, the
Riz
Woods.
Ahmed, Jenny Slate. There's a guy called Sam Medina that no one knows who that is, and Lauren Diston. I'm just making up names now, but they're all in it. That's a very, very good cast.
It is.
But
It's amazing.
It'll be interesting to see how they do this. Look, I'm not going to not go and see it, am I?
Of course.
So
Bring it on. That's going to take us to November with X-Men, The Dark Phoenix, which might very well be the last X-Men movie that Fox does.
Yeah, potentially.
Now, do you see them kind of like just destroying themselves with this movie? Is this the scapegoat for ending the X-Men franchise?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think they're going to do it that way. I think they're going to find a way to like phase it in.
You reckon?
Yeah. I do. I genuinely do. I don't think they're going to destroy these characters. I don't think they're going to like obliterate the timeline. I think they'll still work with the young actors that they have, because the young actors that they have are great.
Oh, absolutely. I love the cast that they've got.
You like move on from the Fassbenders, from the McAvoys, from the fucking Jennifer Lawrences, for the love of God.
Oh, can we please just kill her off?
Now, here's a problem that I have with this movie.
Okay.
Now, you have to let me clarify my words before you attack me. Not you,
okay.
but just the general public.
Yes.
What they've said is they've come out and said that this movie is really going to focus on the women of the X-Men, right? And that is not good. And the reason that's not good, before you at me, is because they've done that already with Jennifer Lawrence. Like, they've made Mystique this, like, like the leader.
The poster girl for the X-Men
like the leader of the X-Men. Like, more of a leader than Professor X. More of a leader than, than Michael Fassbender's Magneto. So you run the risk of doing that again, in the sense of giving Jennifer Lawrence more screen time than she actually needs, because it's called X-Men Dark Phoenix, and for the love of God, Mystique has fuck all to do with it in the grand scheme of things. So don't make it out like she does, because nobody fucking wants it.
No one. I can't even believe she signed back on.
She
must be
did
broke.
It, no, she did it because the fans wanted it.
Fuck off.
That's what she said.
No one wants her.
That's what she said. But she did it for the paycheck.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Fantastic Beasts 2, The Crimes of Grindelwald. That's coming. Johnny Depp
Doing whatever Johnny Depp does, making me hate him even more. Look, I am excited for Fantastic Beasts. Give me anything Harry Potter. I'm going to watch it, mate.
Oh, hell yeah. And Fantastic Beasts, the original one.
It was a lot of fun.
It was a hell of a lot of fun.
Until the ending.
Well, yeah. Until they fucking decided to get rid of Colin Farrell and bring in Johnny Depp. Like, whose decision was that, where you've got beautiful Colin Farrell and he looks amazing and he's a fantastic actor, and then you go and fucking give us Johnny Depp
with
another
hair.
fucking fake nose or whatever it is that he's got, like prosthetics on his face and a stupid accent. Man,
I hate Johnny Depp so much.
I hate Johnny Depp too. The world hates Johnny Depp.
Yes.
But they still put him in this movie for some reason. But that's fine. Whatever you want to do. Just let's hope that even though it's called The Crimes of Grindelwald, that we don't actually see him too much somehow.
Look, we've got Jude Law as Dumbledore in this movie. Just show heaps of him.
Yeah.
He's a beautiful man.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
For sure. Now let's roll through a few of these. So we have Creed 2 is also coming out in November. Then we hit December and we've got Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the animated movie from the creators of the Lego Movie, starring Miles Morales. Looks great. Mortal Engines is a thing that I really don't understand what all that noise is about.
I saw like the teaser trailer for this, and there was a whole bunch of uproar, and I don't know what's going on, so that can go in the bin.
Just straight in the bin.
Straight in the bin.
Look, it's I want to say it's got a good cast, but it doesn't really. So we're just gonna Mortal Engines, that's coming out. Bumblebee also hits in December.
Interested to see what this does to this Transformers universe. Will it save it? Will it destroy it? It's got John Cena, baby. Bring it on.
Well, I just want to see something different, you know what I mean? We've had these Michael Bay Transformer movies for the longest time now, and still to this day, the only good one is the first one. Really loved it. Loved the first one, I'm not going to lie. But, it just got progressively more and more and more shit. Now we've got a great young actress in Haley Steinfeld. John Cena's in it. We're going back to the 80s. There's a bug. We've got Travis Knight now as the director. Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's lots of things happening.
That's right.
And then, of course, we have Aquaman Aquabro starring Jason Momoa, directed by James Wan.
I want it to be called Aquaman, semicolons, my man.
My man. My man.
Yeah, Aqua, my man.
This is interesting, especially after all the backlash from Justice League. So... it's really going to be interesting to see how this, like, whether it rights the ship, if you will, of the DC. Since Wonder Woman, she already did that, and then they stuffed it up, and then now we have to wait almost an entire year. Well, it is an entire year until we get Aquaman.
Who would have thought Aquaman might be the savior of the DCEU?
Well, who knows? But I do really like James Wan as a director. He's pretty cool. All right. Now, there is a whole bunch of unspecified dates-wise worth of stuff coming out. I'm just going to roll through them very, very quickly, then we're going to get into some questions.
Okie dokie.
Okay? So we've got Umbrella Academy Season 1.
What is this?
Umbrella Academy is based off a comic book, which I've never read in my life.
Oh, right.
But I have heard that it is quite good. So I am going to, at some point, definitely get onto that because I've been told that I should do that.
Fantastic.
So that's coming out.
One that's going to make you happy is Preacher Season 3.
Haven't even finished Season 2 yet.
Wow, there you go. One that will actually make you happy, Troy, and that's Legion Season 2.
That's definitely making me happy.
Yeah.
Yep.
I want some of that happening, baby.
Hell yeah. Now, I have a bone to pick with you on the next one. iZombie Season 4. I have not seen anything anywhere that even suggests that show has been cancelled. You lying piece of shit. When was that? Last week?
Maybe
last
the week
or the week before?
Well, maybe
I
it got
think we
renewed
were wrapping up 2017 or whatever. But fuck you for making me go through that. And I went and Googled the shit out of it, and nope, it's just, hey, guess what? iZombie's been picked up for Season 4.
Must be fake news.
Must be. New Warriors, Season 1.
What's this?
That's coming. You know what New Warriors
Tell
is.
me
There's
again.
like Squirrel Girl and, all that sort of stuff.
Oh, yes.
So this is happening. I don't know. There is no actual release date as of yet, which is why it's in this section.
Fair call.
But it is... it's one of those ones that it's, I don't know, it's a unknown quantity right now.
That's right. Something that's going to be amazing, and that's Titans Season 1.
Well, we hope so.
We hope it's going to be
definitely
amazing.
hope so. So that's that takes us to Cloak and Dagger Season 1. This is one of the ones that, again, haven't read barely anything about Cloak and Dagger. Unfortunately, I do know a bit about the characters themselves, but doesn't really interest me because it's very teenagey kind of romancy thing.
Not for me, man.
And I'm cool with having kids as the leads. Like Runaways has done that great. Stranger Things has done it even better. But none of that's been overly romantic, has it? Luke Cage Season 2, that's a thing.
Yeah, hopefully that is a lot better than Season 1. You know what? The first half of Season 1 was great. The last half was just shit. So learn from your mistakes on that one, please, Netflix, and just make an 8-episode season of great, great stuff.
Yep. Daredevil Season 3, very keen.
Very keen. Hasn't let me down. Season 2 was amazing. Did it outdo Season 1? Ooh, maybe.
I would say the first half of Season 2, maybe.
Yeah.
The last half, not so much. The heavily Elektra stuff,
no good.
Not so much. Iron Fist Season 2,
in the bin.
In the bin. Watchmen, that's a thing. Don't know.
So excited.
Very, very keen. Don't know what to expect because it's kind of like it's really, really, really hard source material. We don't even know what they're picking from. Yeah,
exactly.
Where they're going with it, what the story is. So interesting to see. And then, of course, we've got Castle Rock, which is all based on the Stephen King universe. So it's like the Stephen King universe is all real, and it's all
someone's living in that city, isn't it?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds very interesting.
I will definitely give that a watch.
Cool.
So that's a thing. Now, questions. What 2018 movie has you the most pumped, my friend?
Ooh, that's a good question. Looking at this, I am going to say the one that has got me the most excited is going to be Avengers Infinity War.
But that's fair.
That's fair.
I feel like that's an easy answer.
Okay, you know what? If it's not going to be Avengers Infinity War, it's going to be The Incredibles 2.
Damn.
Yeah, how do you like that?
I like it a lot. For me, I am going to go and say because Avengers Infinity War, that's like I said, that's the easy one. I'm gonna say Black Panther, man. I'm really, really keen to see this movie.
Yeah, cool.
Yes. Now, what's likely to be the biggest flopsicle?
Rampage.
You reckon Rampage?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I reckon I'm going to go Mortal Engines because I genuinely don't even know what the fuck that's about, man. That's like a whole city is on a truck or something. Like London's on a truck.
What?
And like they like I don't even know.
The mechanics of that make my brain hurt.
Hugo Weaving's in it.
No good.
Big trucks. Not keen. So that to me is going to be the biggest flopsicle. What 2018 TV show or season, if you want? What's going to make your pants dance?
Look, I am so excited for Titans.
Yeah.
This is like this is what I'm holding out for in 2018.
Yep.
2018, we're really spoiled for good TV, and with Legion coming back, that was such an amazing TV show. But yeah, Titans, that's what I want.
Yeah, I would have to say Daredevil season 3. Pretty keen for that. Legion season 2 is another one that I'm very keen to see. And let's throw Watchmen in there for good measure.
Yeah.
Just because it's such an unknown quantity as well. Now, of the TV stuff that's coming out, what's not going to make it out of 2018? What gets one? What's one and done?
Iron Fist.
Iron Fist.
Yeah.
You reckon that's it?
Yep, it's done.
No more fisting
Yep.
after season 2.
Probably Preacher as well. Yeah.
I got one for you. Krypton.
I reckon that will get a season 2.
Fuck off.
You'll be.
There's no way.
Have you seen what Sci-Fi Channel show?
Well, that's true. I mean, yeah, that's fair. All right, then I will say. No, fuck it. I'm sticking with that. Now, highest grossing movie of 2018. Last question. Highest grossing movie of 2018.
Like it's even a question, Troy. It's obviously.
No. Let me finish. That's not Avengers Infinity War. So what takes the number 2 spot?
Okay. Let me just have a quick run through all of this. Bumblebee.
I'm going to say Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah, I should have said that. I'm going on percentages, though.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Best return.
Yeah, sure. Best return for your money, I reckon, is going to be, for like the small budget, but going to make a whole bunch of bank. That's going to be, let's say, New Mutants.
Oh.
Let's move on. We've been doing this for hours.
Okay. And that's going to take us to the long-awaited Comic of the Week, Troy. Now, I have a question for you.
Yes.
This is called Comic of the Week. Are you going to do this weekly?
Negative.
Okay. So is it like Comic of the Fortnight or Comic of the Month?
Look, I think how I envision this, right? Because I do want the Comic of the Week to come back, but it's still going to be of that particular week that it's on that episode. So it's the comic for that week. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you don't have to change it for the month or whatever. But we're going to do listener questions some weeks. We're going to do comic of the week. We're going to do other stuff. We're going to run out of time. So you know what I mean? So expect it sporadically, but probably every month.
And to be fair, we're like running way over on this episode.
Exactly. But hey, I said it's coming, and it's coming. And this month / week, whatever you want to call it. I want to talk about Champions. Now, this was published by Marvel, under Marvel now. It was created by Mark Waid and Humberto Ramos. Now, it started way back in mid-2016, still currently going, sits at around 16 issues. You got this like young teenage team that consists of, you've got Miss Marvel, I'll give you their normal names as well, Kamala Khan.
No, just their like...
No, you got to know which one it is. Like, if I say Spider-Man, which Spider-Man? It's Miles Morales.
Oh, okay.
You got Vision, the Hulk, the Amadeus Cho version. You got Nova, Sam Alexander. You got Cyclops, which is like it's like still Scott Summers, but he's from an alternate reality.
Hey, I like that.
Yeah, so it's basically set after the events of Civil War II, and the basic premise is that this group of young heroes are tired of the way things are being handled by the current wave of adult like supers and the sort of I want to say human population. What are they called? Civilians. The civilians are kind of like shitty with the way that everything was handled, and they're tired of like, yeah, okay, cool, you just stopped that dude, but you just fucked up my entire neighborhood. So, you know what I mean? So it's like, so these guys basically get together. So Nova, Spidey, and Miss Marvel all quit the Avengers. They're like, you know what? Fuck it, we're done. We don't want to do it this way anymore. We want to do something else. We want to do something that's right. They don't want to use their powers to what they call like punch down. You know what I mean?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, so they don't want to, they want to protect the little people, and they want to change the goddamn world while they're doing it, and they want to do what's right. And the reason why I chose it is not only just because it's well written and it's a fun story and you've got this bunch of really likable teenage character kids, but more so than that, it has a really strong message, which shouldn't just resonate with today's youth, but anybody who actually gives a shit about doing right things with the right motivations, because that's what these kids are all about. It's like, hey, we saved your life, but we also like fucked up your food truck. We're gonna fucking repair your food truck.
Oh,
we're gonna stay here and we're gonna fix it until we're done. You know what I mean? And like, there's one thing in particular where they go, they're like they go to try to help these oppressed women in like an Islamic state, and they don't do it by using their superpowers. They use it by empowering the people themselves. It's amazing.
That's deep.
It is deep.
Yeah, I forgot how deep your comics of the week were.
Yeah. It's a thing, my friend. So it is available in store, obviously, on Comixology or Marvel Unlimited right now. It's a solid 7.5 out of 10. It's out of 10 now, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah, it used to be out of 5. It used to just make random shit up. I'm doing it out of 10. That's the new comic of the week. Champions. Check it out. Get into it.
Is that because you couldn't work out like the fraction of what half
Man,
a
fucking don't even get me started.
Sevens are hard enough to deal with.
Our rating systems are so fucked. I'm doing it out of 10, 7.5. That's 75%. That's a very good score. It's above average. Check out Champions. Don't make me change it next time this thing comes back.
Okay.
Anyway, that's going to do it for another episode. We'll be back next week. We got a whole bunch of things coming. Episodes every week. We got episodes out
last
the
time
wazoo.
I looked at our episode board, there's like blank, 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 blank,
However,
and one more blank.
Yeah. But to our credit, we had literally filled out the last like kind of 3 months worth of episodes.
That's true.
And just kind of forgot that we also need to continue past that once those are done.
Look, what I'm trying to say in a roundabout way is if you have some awesome ideas for upcoming episodes,
hey,
let us know. It's not that we don't want to do the work. We want to empower the listeners. We want to make you part of the show.
We are the champions of podcasting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Troy, your like moving, I guess, tribute to the champions has like made me think about our show and our listeners and how, we talk a lot every week and
we do.
We say a lot of shit. And what if we
Definitely.
said the shit that they wanted us to say?
That's
while we
fucking
fix their
deep.
While we fix their food truck.
Yeah, basically. Look, let's do that.
Okay.
Whatever that is. Let's thank some people.
Let's thank the listeners, subscribers, and reviewers. Troy, we are one rating away from 100.
God damn it, you guys.
100 reviews, Troy.
100. Hey, back, in the day when we first started this, we're thinking, we were just sitting there and we're like, hey, how we get drunk all the time? We talk about comic books and maybe we should just start a podcast. And I was like, what the fuck's a podcast?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, well, give me your phone, and this is what a podcast is.
Yeah, you actually showed me that there's a podcast app. Open my world to a whole new world of podcasting, basically. Yeah,
you are like... You're so smooth with how you talk,
mate. It's this is the jumbled mind of a genius.
You're just like you got so many thoughts and things going on. It's just like whatever comes to the front.
I'm just trying to pick the right one.
Yeah,
and usually they get smushed in together.
I feel
somehow.
like in your head you've got one of those claw games, and you're here trying to control it, and you go to pick. You're like you think you're on the right word, and the claw comes down, but it grabs like dick instead, and like you're trying to talk and just random shit comes out.
Yeah, that's fair. Look, I am very well read. I don't know why this hasn't affected my ability to speak. Where were we up to? Thanking the people. Yeah, look, anyway, my point was, do you think that we ever would have gotten to a point where it'd be like, hey, we got 100 views, 100 people out there have given us reviews. Most of them have been 5 stars, which is surprising. That's the most surprising thing. Let's be honest.
Look, when we did episode 1, I was like 100 reviews straight away, mate. You won't believe it.
It's like I'm not doing this unless we get 100 reviews.
So now I'm committing to this podcast.
Yeah. Not yet. Yeah. We've got to get one more review, and then Cade's in. He's in for the long haul.
I'll be 100% committed to this podcast. Let's do that.
That's amazing.
Troy, where can people find us? On social media only.
Only on social media. That is Facebook. We are Comic Confidential. You can search that. We have the listener community, which is a great little community of like-minded individuals who like to talk about comics, comic book TV shows, comic book movies, other stuff that's not comic book related, memes,
everything.
You
know what? The community got me in trouble this week.
How so?
My wife is like, "Why are you always on the phone?" I was like,
community.
The community needs me."
Yeah, exactly.
It was lit AF this week, Troy.
It was lit. That's Comic Confidential listener community. You can search that. That's on Facebook. We have a Twitter. We have an Instagram. That's at Comic Con Pod. You can follow us on those. They are less active than Facebook. Let's be honest. Facebook is definitely where we're at 90% of the time. We are there.
Yes. You can also find us on our website. That's comicconpod.com. Past episodes, future episodes, and everything in between.
Everything.
Now, Troy, I'm going to raise something with you on the podcast because you know how I am so time rich.
Yes.
I have time to do everything.
Yeah.
The Patreon members has suggested that, while we do like getting the episodes early, maybe we can give them like a monthly bonus episode.
Okay.
That only Patreon supporters can get.
I feel like this was just the boys.
It was just the boys, but I feel like maybe we do like something dedicated. Like maybe like a little topic, like a little round table.
Okay.
Maybe we do that.
I am like, I've got all the time in the world.
We'll figure that out.
Yeah. How do you get that? You become a Patreon patron.
Patreon supporter.
Yeah, whatever. So that's patreon.com/ComicConPod, where you can support the show for as little as $1 a week.
Month. $1 a month.
Damn, it's $1 a month.
That's so little.
I've been saying $1 a week this whole time.
Have you?
I don't think so. For $1 a month, maybe $1 a month, you guys. It's 25 cents a week.
Well, that's a US dollar, so it's maybe like 30 cents a week.
Whatever. It's not a lot. You'll get all early access episodes. So that's good.
That's very good.
And other things.
Yeah. I'm going to put a video up on there.
Okay, cool. All right, you do that. Now, that is it. I'm going to sign us off. Are we done?
Yep.
Are we done here?
We're done.
Thanks for listening. As always, I'm Troy.
I'm Cade.
And this has been Comic Confidential.
Cheers.
Peace.
You know what we didn't mention?
What?
The bonus episode that we released.
Well, now would be an apt time because it's all about end credit shit.
Oh my God. And it's genuinely good.
This is where the magic happens, except most of the time it doesn't.
I don't know. If you love this podcast, then head over to comicconpod.com to check out the other incredible shows on our network.
You can also support us on Patreon from as little as $1 a month.
You'll get early access to all our shows, plus secret supporter content that's not available to the public.
Head over to patreon.com/ComicConPod to find out more.